Thank you, Madam Chair. Fields Pierce, North Carolina. If you turn on the television today, you're likely to find an energy company touting their new research and development programs. These companies are realizing the opportunities at their fingertips, and the U.S. should take note. We as a country are standing at a crossroad. In one direction, we can remain economically stagnant with high debt, high unemployment, and neglect to diversify our markets. But in the other direction, the greener direction, we as a country can pioneer in a market that can ensure our prosperity for the next 50 years. And that greener path is American Amigos. But what makes up this path is an energy plan that has a direct progression from utilizing our own oil reservoirs that makes it easier for the U.S. to be rehabilitated from our addiction of foreign oil. This oil crosses all boundaries of government, whether it's bloodshed overseas or trade deficits, and American Amigos puts a stop plug on all of this. Energy plans require high amounts of investment, so creative funding is put at a premium and embodied by this plan. American Amigos will not raise any taxes, nor will it borrow a cent from anyone or any country. Moreover, we get double the research and development, with Brazil coupling our efforts, equaling about $12 billion. American Amigos is a three-pronged process in order to close all loopholes. Green-collar jobs to the tune of 2.5 million will alleviate the unemployment problem. The United States will be a trusted business partner in a growing region of South America and put a check on the growing authority of Venezuela. And third, the U.S. will win the modern-day space race, the race for alternative energy. This race is the epitome of competition to push the United States forward. China and India and other Eastern Hemisphere countries are taking control of this race. So it is time that the two biggest economies of the Western Hemisphere compete with these countries and up the ante. Brazil's role in the global community is vital for the U.S. to harness and utilize. First, I'd like to re-emphasize the fact that the New World Order is changing and South America is growing. They will be an influential power for at least the next 50 years. And furthermore, Venezuela is gaining a stranglehold on this area. Just imagine the scenario if Hugo Chavez continues to get a stranglehold on an entire region. That would be detrimental to our economy and our diplomacy. Brazil's knowledge on biofuels have allowed them to become the world's largest consumer of alternative energy at 85%. But as the Brazilians use only sugarcane as their base, American Amigos can push the U.S. past this mark to use other bases. These alternatives could be hemp or cellulose or any other thing, rather than just the commonly discussed corn ethanol. All of these biofuel possibilities are possible with American Amigos because focused funding will increase. Lastly, I'd like to remind you that this is not just about biofuels. This is about hydrocarbons and fuel cells. This is about butanol and lithium-ion car batteries. But most importantly, this is about rehabilitating the United States from our addiction of foreign oil. Thank you. I'd like to yield the remainder of my time to my closing summation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tim Hegedus, Delaware Delegation. American Amigos, a very catchy title. However, for those who need help translating from Portuguese, amigo means friend. Seems pretty obvious, right? However, this proposal shows that some people may have a different idea of friendship than I do. Imagine that your friend came to you and said, "Look, I'm addicted to spending, and I'm realizing that, at this rate, I'll be broke soon. So, how about you just give me an allowance of your money and every week until I eventually stop being addicted to spending and can stop spending?" Sure, your friend being addicted to spending is a terrible thing. But if you keep giving them this money without getting anything in return, I wouldn't exactly call that a healthy friendship that will last long term. Brazil and the United States has had a healthy trading partnership for a long time. However, this legislation says that the United States would start in 2012 importing more alternative fuels while not giving any incentive to Brazil. Actually, it also includes lowering imports from Brazil in the forms of petroleum. This isn't much of an incentive to me. Also, this proposal says the United States cannot make enough alternative energy in our own country, and we can't wean ourselves off of oil without imports from Brazil. Maybe we should try to encourage alternative energy small businesses a little more by lowering some of the highest corporate tax rates in the world and removing some of the oil tax credits. I don't know about you, but if we have a chance to take a different route and try to create new jobs and influence innovation in our country, instead of automatically giving in to depending on imports, that would be the route that I would try to take first. To me, this just isn't the American way. What happened to the days of JFK and our race to be the head of innovation in our race to the moon? I believe that this should remain the American policy. Sure, we may end up needing imports in the future, but I would be much more satisfied if we did everything possible in our tax rates to influence business growth in our own country and job growth in our own country to lower unemployment before we went on our knees to another country. Remember the unemployment rate? Exactly. Thank you, and I yield the remainder of my time to you.
Will Holland, North Carolina. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Chair, sorry. My bad. Our dependence on foreign oil has left us at an economic and military standstill. Think about the inordinate amount of money spent upon wars in the Middle East. Think about our dying soldiers, and for what? All in the pursuit of energy. Now, close your eyes. Imagine an oilless Middle East. Imagine the sudden objectivity we could obtain in dealing with foreign affairs. Imagine the lack of conflicts in the Middle East. Now, open your eyes. Operation American Amigos can fulfill these dreams. But, words of warning, China also has the potential to jump on the alternative energy wagon with Brazil due to their ties through their ERTC. They could take our foreign oil reserves due to the weakening of the US dollar. If this doesn't strike fear in all of your hearts, then I don't know what will. We must capitalize on this opportunity before it's too late. Another constraint is the health of our planet. Alternative energies must be discovered and put into widespread public use if our grandchildren are to thrive. The Avett brothers once said, "Nothing of this world is mine, except the will to carry on. Free is not your right to choose, it's answering what's asked of you." We must not get caught up in using all of the resources of this world, and must start getting caught up in carrying on. Of all the South American countries, Brazil has the lowest rate of rainforest destruction. Brazil relies on reusable energies for 85% of their energy consumption. America relies on it for 11%. With Brazil's magnitude of success, it is my belief that American Amigos has the potential to reach even further than its original intent. I believe this has possibilities on the global scale, and with that, I yield my time.